Welcome back, everybody. Of all the order halls for all the classes that are in this game for this expansion, there is a single one that I actively dislike. It's going to be the one we're going to be looking at today, and I will explain why, especially when we get there. If you can't tell, this is a warrior. This is my Maghar Orc that I have made. He is wearing the full mythic set from Blackrock Foundry because, well, this set looks amazing. I mean, just look at that. I just love how it does that from time to time. I'm also wearing the mace that Blackhand has because it looks awesome. I mean, just look at this. And it goes so well with this set. Oh, it's so cool. I love this looking aesthetic. But if you're curious, this is what he looks like. That's kind of why I named him Gromneeks. I actually tried to model him after Grom from Warlords. You know, same hairstyle and everything. So that's why he kind of looks like that. So, and that's also why I've been playing him strictly as arms, because it just kind of like made sense to me. At one point, I had his weapon transmogged as Gorehowl. But when I decided to go ahead and put this set on him, I just thought I couldn't pass up the opportunity to have him use this set. Plus, it just makes sense to me also that a Maghar Orc would be using the set from Blackrock Foundry along with Blackrock's weapon. So, anyways. So yeah, we're going to be focusing on the Arms Warrior quest to get the arms weapon, which I think is a pretty good quest. I will also be showing off the Fury Warrior one. I might do the Protection Warrior one, though I think it's my least favorite of the three. But first, we're going to show the intro to the Warrior Order Hall. Yeah, I say that kind of sarcastically because, well, you'll see. We'll get there. But first, let's go ahead and turn this in. I will say this intro part is actually a little different based on what faction you're playing. So, I, of course, am a Maghar Orc, so I am, part of the Horde. So, someone unique should be showing up to see me. But yeah, I just love this, the shoulders just are awesome. And this is the way it is for all the mythic Blackrock Foundry sets. They all have this really cool looking animation to them. It's really cool. I absolutely love it. And the fact that you got the weapon that just matches with this perfectly is just awesome. Look at that.
I'll speak with you. The matter is urgent.
Eitrig.
From Ka.
Gromneeks, Saurfang has not been the same since our loss at the Broken Shore. Though he led well and slew many, he has taken our defeat hard.
It concerns High Overlord Saurfang. I fear he plans to bring doom upon himself.
Don't worry, Eitrig. I know he lives through this. He makes it all the way to the end of BFA. Oh, now I'm sad.
I fear he is determined to return to the Broken Shore. Will you speak to him?
Goodbye. My thanks, chap. This matter cannot wait. We must speak now.
He said, "My thanks, champion. I will seek out Thrall and see if he can help."
Remember, Thrall would be kind of over here waiting for the Shaman player. I showed that in my main playthrough. Just a reminder, I don't have to show the... Oh, this is the mount you get as a warrior in the class order hall, in case you're curious. I wasn't too fond of it at first, but it's grown on me. Honestly, the one that I actually really like is this one right here. Go ahead and swap that out. There we go. The Spawn of Galactus from the Siege of Orgrimmar. I actually like this one a little more than the one you get for the Order Hall, but I will say it has grown on me. The whole, it's got a bunch of weapons on it, for a warrior to use it whenever you want. But, yeah, getting this one, like, I wanted this one for a long time. I love how armored it looks, and plus it took some achievements that it took a few times in order to get it. So, anyways. But yeah, this little portion here is a little different, depending on if you are Horde or Alliance. Because obviously if you're an Alliance character, Eitrig is not going to be the one to come see you. Someone else will. But just a reminder, I'm not going to be showing the Shaman, the Death Knight, the Demon Hunter, the Paladin, or the Druid, because I've already shown those. I've already shown all of the weapon quests for those classes on camera in separate playlists. Feel free to go check those out. They should be relatively easy to find. Where are you, Varrock? There you are.
I'll wager Etrig sent you. His concern is noble, but unnecessary.
It's worth noting that, yes, that's a different voice than what he had in BFA. It is cool they updated his model to reflect how he looked in BFA, but yeah, they basically kind of revamped the what they were going to do with the Saurfang going into BFA, which is why his voice sounds different here. So what am I going to say? Oh yeah, just speak with him.
From Ka.
Recent events weigh heavily on me. There is something that I must do.
What must you do?
That battle, I can find no glory in it. Too many died, but I did not. The anger within me grows every minute that I stare at that storm. I will return to the broken shore. For those under my command, I will kill demons until their glory is found and my honor restored. Do not seek to counsel against this. I am set in my ways. Then I will go with you, for no one should fight alone.
May you die in battle. Death is our likely end on those shores. You know this, yet I can see the determination in your eyes. Perhaps you have honor to regain there as well. Speak quickly, and speak the truth.
Very well. Let us see what awaits us on that ill-fated shore. At the very least, a lot of dead demons. Ha! Fear not, Papaneeks. I'm angry, but I don't chase my own death.
That was a little different later on.
We will fly and scout the ideal point of attack. The demons are still drunk on their victory, but we will put a swift end to their revelry. Take my spare mount, and we will fly to the broken shore. There we will bring honor to our dead.
I don't think the Legion would be getting drunk off of this victory, because I don't think for them this is really a victory. Because to them this is just like, yeah, whatever. You know, like to them the victory is destroying our entire planet. Like that's the victory. This was just kind of like, yeah, this is what's supposed to happen. You know, just usual business for them.
We are the true might of Kalimdor.
So yeah, I'll show this also on my Alliance Warrior, just to show the difference between Varrock and the other guy, which is Daneth Trollbane.
Now to select the appropriate target. A soul engine, perhaps. That battleship might do. Cannons! Fly low and dodge the blasts!
This seems like a bad idea. Why are we this close?
Make them pay, champion! Make them pay!
I'll see you later, Varrock!
Your wounds, warriors! Another battle awaits!
These guys. I don't like these guys. But then again, it's worth noting, I'll admit, I've never really liked the Vrykul. Never. I've never found the Vrykul appealing. And they just kind of grate on me. Now, it's not necessarily the accent that they're using. It's how over the top it seems at times. You know, it just seems like they're going way too over the top with emphasizing how they talk, and it just kind of grates on me after a while. But it's also the way they kind of act, and carry themselves. I'm not too fond of it.
Harvey didn't say they would be so short.
That old seer is mad, but rarely wrong. Come, friend, more demons approach. Prove your valor.
Sure.
Closer. Too far away.
Just a reminder, I'm at level 26. So I don't have a number of abilities that I would usually have for this. There's some abilities I'm kind of missing. I don't even have Battle Shout. That is not until later.
I must get closer. I require a target.
It is kind of cool having Ignore Pain as an arms warrior.
I do not have a target. Too far away. I need to target something first.
A Valkyr approaches. We must greet her with respect. Come, heroes.
Hi, Danica.
Hardgrim! Ulrich! Odin has judged you worthy for his halls! Come with me to glory!
Watch over me from above, my brothers, and save me a seat in the hall. A brute has joined the battle, little hero. Come and meet your fate before your place is taken!
So, let me reiterate this. Javi, aka Odin, sent them here to die, to see whether or not they were worthy to join him and his armies in heaven, in Valhalla, basically. Yeah. Don't worry, I have more to say about Odin later when we get there, but yeah, I really want to emphasize that. He sent them here to die, to see whether or not they were worthy to be a part of his forces in the afterlife, you know, basically.
My forces are legion. Your efforts are futile. What was that?
That was a pit lord.
Enough! I will break you myself!
Well, will you look at that?
At last! Ha ha! This is the glorious death Harvey promised me!
I say we
You see?
kill the demon instead. Little hero, you have proven yourself a worthy ally. Will you stand with us, even though it could mean our death?
Ha! With all of us together, we may yet be victorious. Either way.
Prove your valor.
Let us be about it then!
I will salute your courage in the halls of Valor, or over this monster's corpse.
Your pathetic resistance only delays the inevitable! All will die to the Legion!
Yeah, we're soloing a pit lord, basically. Oh, they died, by the way.
Die like the insect you are!
Oh yeah? Let's go.
Fight on, hero. For me, the halls await. Enough of this! Face your destruction!
And then he kills me.
You yet stand! Impossible!
A valorous sacrifice! But it is not yet your time.
So welcome to heaven. I say that extremely sarcastically.
Here the brave live on forever!
So, this place is called Skyhold, though I usually refuse to actually call it that, because when I think of Skyhold, I think of the incredible, awesome fortress that we get in Dragon Age Inquisition. I usually just simply jokingly refer to this as Valhalla, since that's in some ways what this is portrayed as. This... this is the Warrior Order Hall. And when I say that, what I'm actually mean is this is Odin's place, and he's just happening to allow you to stay here. Let me be very clear about this. I hate this. And I know I'm not alone. I know that there are others who hate how they did this. And I want to go over why. So, you remember how in the previous videos where I was showing the other order halls and how they were showing some of the other more well-known members of the class throughout the history of the setting of Warcraft? Or you notice how they were playing up the fantasy of playing your class? There is no one of note here. Nobody significant here. There are no known warriors throughout the history of Warcraft that are actually here in this place. Like, when you think of great warriors in the past, you could think of guys like Lothar, for example. He is nowhere here. Neither are any of the other more well-known notable warriors throughout the history of Warcraft. You know, like, and it was supposed to. It was supposed to include notable warriors in the past. Like, even our Grom. Not the Grom from Warlords, since he was technically still alive. I mean, like, our original Grom. Like, there were a number of plans here, and then they didn't. Also, unlike the other places, this does not feel warrior to me. Like, I was talking about how Dreadscar Rift, it felt very warlock. How the place in Dalaran, the Hall of Shadows, felt very rogue. In the Light's Hope Chapel, when I showed you the Paladin playthrough, it felt very Paladin. And there were Paladins throughout the history of Warcraft there, honoring Tyrion at his funeral. This is not warrior. This isn't about the warriors. This has nothing to do with the warriors. This is all about Odin, his Valajar, and his Valkyr. Oh, and the Vrykul as well. And that's it. I also want to talk about how there's another aspect to this. You remember how... Okay, I'm going to, remind you about something. So, you guys know how I showed you in the Shaman Order Hall how we became the Farseer of the Earthen Ring, taking up the mantle of the leader of the Shamans of Azeroth in place of Thrall. Let me also remind you some of the other ones. As a Paladin, we become the new High Lord of the Silver Hand, leading the Paladins of Azeroth in place of Tyrion Forgering. As the Druid, we become the new Archdruid of Al-Shirah, joining the mighty Archdruids of Azeroth. As a Demon Hunter, we get dubbed by Illidan himself as the new leader of the Illidari in his place. As the Death Knight, we become the new Death Lord of the Ebon Blade in... higher up than Darian Mograine, basically being the main guy that the Lich King asks us to fulfill duties, just alongside the Horsemen. I'm going to go ahead and spoil some of the other ones for you. As the Warlock, you gain a seat on the Council of the Black Harvest and get dubbed as the actual leader of the Black Harvest. As the priest, you become the high priest of all the priests. That Alonzus Fal has said you are now the leader of all the priests of Azeroth. As the monk, you become the Grand Master of the Monk. I was pointing this out, how they actually dubbed you and named you their new leader, their Grand Master of the Monks of Azeroth. Going over in my mind the other classes. As the mage, you become the new Archmage of the Tiras Guard, joining the ranks of the the high Archmages in Dalaran, where Khadgar and the others will look at you as a fellow Archmage peer. As a rogue, you gain a seat on the Council of the Uncrowned, becoming the new Shadow and joining the ranks of Ravenholt and the other great rogues of Azeroth. I hope I'm making my point clear. Do you know what you do as a warrior? you do not become, a leader of all the warriors of Azeroth or any of that. Why did somebody slap me across the face? I just noticed, it says somebody here slapped me across the face. Why? I'm just standing here. I have no idea who it was. Whatever. Do you know what you do as a warrior in this campaign? You are Odin's errand boy. You don't get to become the leader of anything other than he says you will be the leader of his armies. But throughout the entire campaign, he is basically like, go do this, now go find this. Go find this person, now go do this, and go do this. No, go do this. You are a sandwich boy. You are constantly having to do his bidding and lick his boots about how great and mighty and wonderful Odin is. It's nauseating. I don't care at all about this place. This feels so unlike Warrior, and it just doesn't feel at all as if it's playing up to the fantasy of playing the class. And I felt so bad for people who have been Warrior mains for a long time, because this does not feel like it's appealing to those people at all. That it doesn't really play up the fantasy of what it's like to play as a mighty warrior, Because this has nothing to do with that. This is all about Odin. Now, maybe that wouldn't be so bad if Odin wasn't so unlikable. I want to talk about Odin now real quick. If you're curious who I'm talking about, it's that guy right there who looks like he is bored out of his mind. You know why? Because he's trapped here. I should probably also give you guys a little bit of a tidbit about this place, if you're wondering what this place is. So these are the Halls of Valor, or at least a portion of them, as we kind of see a different portion of them when we go through the dungeon and the raid. This is what is known as a pocket dimension. So long ago, when we had the Battle of the Black Empire, and the elements were basically having to fight on behalf of and work for the old gods, like Ragnaros and such. So the Titans made, the Titan Forge and the Keepers. In fact, it was Odin and Tyr who actually fought Ragnaros long ago. Now, to help kind of contain the elementals, Helya, who was a Titan Forged, actually crafted, because of how powerful a mage she was, crafted the elemental planes as separate subdimensions to contain them in. And, well, this is a pocket dimension that was crafted on behalf of that, but partly because of what Odin decided to do. So, just to remind myself, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a history lesson about Odin. This is I'm referencing the Wowpedia page, by the way. Odin is one of the Titan Forged who was empowered by the Pantheon of the Titans, and thus became Keepers. He led the Titan Forged armies against the forces of the old gods. He was imbued with the powers of Aman'Thul himself, and together with Tyr, he battled and defeated Ragnaros the Fire Lord, and devised the final plan to bring down Yogg-Saron. For his leadership, determination, and courage, he was granted the title of Prime Designate, the leader of all the Titan Forged on Azeroth, and he was tasked with watching Yogg-Saron's prison and maintaining the Forge of Wills. Odin gifted Heimdall with the Gjallarhorn, and if it was sounded, the Keepers were oathbound to answer its call as its signal that the end times are upon Azeroth. When the other Keepers decided to ask the Pantheon to empower the dragon aspects for their heroism against Galakrond, Odin was vehemently against it. That's right, Odin was like, forget about the dragons, the Vrykul and the Valishar are where it's at. They're the ones who matter. He didn't think the dragons mattered. He didn't think they had any value. He has a lot of Titan thinking. The aspects were empowered despite his objections, and so Odin took a section of Ulduar. That's right, this place actually used to be part of Ulduar. And he raised it into the sky, and the actualities that was put into this pocket dimension here, separate from the regular portion of Azeroth, and created the Halls of Valor, and in doing so, relinquished his position of Prime Designate. He told the Vrykul that those who died a worthy death in battle would have their spirits brought to the halls and given new immortal bodies infused with the power of the storm to fight as his Valor, which Odin thought would be better defenders than the dragons. Valor would be better than the dragons. My armies would be better. He also has quite a bit of ego as well. But it's more so that it has to do with some just kind of wiring in his brain where there's a couple of kinds of arrogance. And he is extremely arrogant, but there's two different kinds of arrogance. There's one kind of arrogance where you're kind of like boasting about how amazing you are, even though you don't really believe it. And then there's this type of arrogance from Odin where in his mind, it's just logical. I am Odin. I was personally empowered by Amanthul himself. Of course I'm superior and better than everyone else, including them. Of course I am. It's just logical. And of course, they would want to serve me. Why wouldn't I? Because I'm Odin and I'm amazing. That's the kind of mentality that he has. In order to retrieve the spirits of the deceased, Odin would need Vrykul to volunteer to become Valkyr and take those spirits from the Shadowlands. The Vrykul objected. It's worth noting also the keepers in Ulduar also objected to this, which is why he was like, well, forget you guys, I'm going to take my portion of Ulduar and leave. With blackjack and hookers. Yeah, for those who might get that little inside joke there. Odin's adopted daughter, the Titan-forged Helya, tried to talk him out of it. Instead, this is great. Listen to this. Instead, Odin killed Helya and transformed her into the first Valkyr and ordered her to do the job for him. You can probably understand why Helya absolutely hates Odin. Helya nursed resentment against Odin for 1,000 years until the day that Loken, a keeper who was now being manipulated by Yogg-Saron, convinced her to turn against him. It wasn't a hard sell, as you might imagine. Helya used the same magic that had been used to lock the elemental planes to seal Odin and his Valor army inside the Halls of Valor, and then decided to take Vrykul's souls into her new realm, Helheim. Helya would be replaced by Aer, or however you say it. My life for Ire. I'm not that. It's spelled Eyir. As the leader of the Valkyr, and Loken would then go on to steal Odin's title of Prime Designate, which of course would cause some issues when we had to kill him in the Halls of Lightning and Wrath, which led to the stuff in Ulduar. But yeah, it's also worth noting that's also part of one of the reasons why the campaign for this Order Hall is ridiculous, because there's a portion where we actually get to go back to Ulduar, which should be cool. But it's ridiculous. Because when you think about it, the Keepers should still hate Odin for what he wanted to do and just simply ripping a portion of Ulduar and bringing it here. But when we go there, because he sends us there to make them renew their vow and oath to serve Odin, which doesn't make any sense. But they start off with like, yes, Odin, you are wonderful, amazing, and... oh my gosh. It's ridiculous. Like, that's all we basically do in this campaign. It's so insignificant and irrelevant. You do nothing of note. You go to have that little segment in Ulduar, and you fight the Legion. And that's it. There's only a few small things about doing this as a warrior that I actually kind of like. For one thing, I do like the artifact quests. Well, the Prot Warrior one is a little weak compared to the other two, but I do like the Arms Inferior one, which of course I want to show you guys in camera. And as I said, getting the warrior mount, which is this one right here, it's also worth noting that depending on the spec you're using, you get a different color. So for arms, it's red. I think for Prot, it's purple, and for Fury, it's black. I don't know why they decided to go with those. But yeah, like I said, I wasn't too fond of it at first, but it's actually grown on me a lot. Especially like, the little feature of the bags with all the weapons and such. Yeah. But it just gets kind of... yeah. This is by far the least favorite. Like, it's not even a favorite. It's like, I don't like this order hall. There's even a portion where Odin actually has us do some pretty messed up stuff. Like, you guys remember Ymmeron, right, from Wrath? Well, we encounter him in a dungeon here in Legion, the Maw of Souls, where we go to Helheim and we fight Helya. Odin sends us there to capture Ymmeron and force him to be enslaved to Odin's service, because Odin thinks, well, an appropriate punishment for him is to force him to serve me for eternity. Yep. And so we bring him here, and there are some funny little lines from Ymmeron where he's basically cursing us out for forcing him to be here. It's kind of funny. He even actually curses, but they bleep it out, like beep, beep. It's actually kind of funny. But oh my gosh. So we're a half hour in, and all I've done is just kind of ranted about this Order Hall and Odin, and we haven't even started the weapons quest yet. But yeah, we actually died in lore and were brought up here. But yeah. Yeah, this is like, yeah. And, you know, I mentioned the thing about the Vrykul. Danica is also one of those where the way she talks just is so over the top, it just kind of grates on me.
Are you worthy of Odin's gaze?
You know, it's like that. You know, like, instead of saying worthy, she goes, are you worthy? You know, and she says it, you know, she usually tends to talk real loud and, you know, yell and shout like she was doing earlier, where she's like, a valorous sacrifice. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm right here. Stop shouting at me. You know? Just think it, like I said, it just feels over the top, and it just grates on me. Welcome to Skyhold, hero. Normally one must die to gain entrance, but times have changed. Fear not, mortal, you are not dead. I was directed to collect you before your demise by Odin himself. I will take you to Odin now. Follow me.
Glory to you. Behind you lies the Eye of Odin, which peers across all of Azeroth. This way lies the Forge, where the mightiest weapons of the Valor are crafted by Helgar, the greatest smith in the halls. Across the Bay lies the Arena of Glory, where warriors vie for supremacy in epic combat. Before us lies the Great Mead Hall, where drink and stories flow freely. Odin awaits ahead. I will go forth and announce you. Be respectful.
I hate that he has that mount. It is also worth noting, there is a cool quest where to unlock the secret appearance for the artifact we're going to be getting in this video, you actually encounter, at least this was on Horde side, I encountered Varrock again in Dalaran, but this time he actually challenged me to a fight. And so we both come up here and fight in this arena. When I defeated him, he then said he was going to tell the smith how to be able to make, you know, empower my weapon to make it look kind of like his. I'll show you the appearance later. But it's one of my favorite secret appearances for any of the artifact weapons in the game. Hi, Odin. I hate you.
I have foreseen the coming of a mighty champion to these shores. One who would slay countless foes and prove their valor time and again. One who would lead my armies to victory against the great darkness that seeks to devour this world. You have proven yourself the greatest living warrior on Azeroth. It is for this reason I have saved you. I name you Valor. Bring glory to these halls on the wings of my Valkyr.
Just to reiterate what I was saying earlier. Oh, it didn't even have the text. But you notice how he was like, I have seen someone who will lead my armies. You know. It's all about leading his forces.
leading his armies to show that he has the greatest armies and forces on Azeroth.
Because it's all about him. You know? Funny little tidbit, little trivia. Do you guys know who the voice actor for Odin also voices? Khadgar. I am not joking. The same man voices Khadgar and Odin, which is hilarious because Odin is so over the top and loud, and there are times I want to strangle him. But then Khadgar is awesome, and there are scenes where Khadgar is quiet and subtle, and the actor is just so good at those quiet, subtle moments with Khadgar. I love it. It just goes to show the awesome range that he has, though. Oh, this is okay. I want to point this out. I just noticed this. So there was something that people were noticing, and in the beta of Shadowlands, that they were going to add something really cool to help kind of add to this idea and atmosphere of the NPCs interacting with you. Notice when I get closer that Odin looks down at me. That's great. He looks down. He's like, "Hello, lick my boots." All right, Lord Odin. That's right. Lick them clean. All right, that's enough.
Have you brought Valor to these halls?
Now all here know who you are. It is time for armaments befitting my champion. As the greatest warrior in these halls, you require a great weapon to do both your will and mine. I have looked down on Azeroth and found artifacts worthy of your hands. I leave it to you to choose which artifact you wish to seek out and wield against the Legion. We will recover the others in time.
Bring us tales of victory.
So, we're going to be doing the arms one first in this one. I'll be doing a separate video on the Fury one. And I guess I'll show the protection one. I'm not too fond of it, but I'll go ahead and show it on camera. Strumkar. And pay attention to what we do in this quest, because there's a reason why I wanted to do this first before we did the Shadow Priest artifact weapon, because it follows very closely after that. The first king of the humans, Thoradin, was a mighty ruler and a mighty warrior. He carried with him a great sword forged by Vrykul, empowered by elves, and bloodied on the fields of countless battles. Strumkar, ender of wars, was lost with Thoradin. One strong enough to recover the sword would bring to bear a blade unlike any seen in the ages since. It's also worth noting, this probably, probably the explanation as to why there's only Valajar and Vrykul here, because I guess Valajar is mainly just a title. It's mainly just Vrykul and Valkyr here. Mainly Vrykul. Is that, well, Odin thought Vrykul and, as his Valajar were the only ones that were worthy of defending Azeroth, which is probably why there's no one of significance here. No significant warriors other than me. Now, I know you see the other players that are playing warriors right now. They're running around this place. But remember, in lore, there's only one. Because obviously he's not going to dub every player as the greatest warrior on Azeroth. The idea is that in lore, there's only one warrior player character here. So I'm the only one here amongst a bunch of Vrykul. And, of course, Odin.
Tell me of your battles.
And if you think I'm kidding, just look here. Valajar, Shield Maiden. Valajar, Vrykul.
I knew you would pick that one. Let us be about it.
Really, you knew what I was going to pick?
Well, of course, because I'm Odin. The first king of the humans, Thoradin, performed many acts of heroism and valor. While on a personal quest near the end of his reign, he stumbled upon the tomb of my brother, Tyr, and the grave prison of the monstrosity he died fighting. Thoradin unintentionally awoke the beast and gave his life to keep it from escaping. It is Thoradin's sword, Strumkar, that has kept the monster at bay. Retrieve it, and finish what Tyr and Thoradin started. Kill Zakaj, the Corrupted.
Zakaj is a Cathraxi. Yeah.
Go now, my champion.
Yes, almighty, wonderful, powerful Odin. I bow before your glory.
This was another reason I wanted to get a Maghar. I love this mount. I love this wolf model. I want more wolf mounts with a model like this. It looks great. There is one other thing about playing a warrior in Legion that I do like. They have an extra fast travel system. So, in order to leave this place, I go here. And as we unlock the zones in Legion, she will get more locations here to just send me, and then I fall from the sky and land on the ground like a superhero landing, like Iron Man. It's actually kind of awesome to just come crashing down from the sky and BAM! Into the ground. It's really cool. Take me to the, I'll even show you guys here. Take me to the camp in Tirisfal Glades. Whee! Now, it used to be you had to go straight to Dalaran and then manually go there. Like I said, they must have added a number of just take me straight there in these weapon quests, knowing that all these players... Look at this. Boom! I'm sorry. I love that. That looks really cool. There it is. I wonder. I can't tell from here. Oh well. I was curious which version of Tirisfal this is. Twilight cultists are camped near the entrance.
What transpired down below? Tell us, Spirit.
The Twilight's Hammer.
I will tell you nothing. What lies beneath will be the end of you.
So, yeah. There are still little surviving remnants of the Twilight's Hammer. And of course they would be interested in a Cathraxi. Excuse me. In a Cathraxi. Because of course they are.
I am out of range.
So yeah, you're all dead. Because I have no problems killing members of what used to be the Twilight's Hammer.
Too far away.
By the way, if you need a reminder of what a Cathraxi is, it's kind of like this right here. Yeah. That's what's down there. We also saw a bunch of those in the Dragon Soul raid.
I'm out of range.
Hang on, Thoradin, I'll get you out of there.
Too far away. I must get closer. I need to target something first. I have seen much in life. Too far away. My thanks. Though we have never met before, I sense great courage in your heart. Yes, you are the hero I need.
So yeah, notice he's titled the King of Arathor.
My yearning for knowledge led me here, to a tomb that lies beneath the lake. Within its cold stone walls, I found something long buried. A terrible darkness, an ancient evil. My men begged me to walk away. I refused. My pride would be my downfall, and theirs. The evil stirred, unleashing death upon us. With my last breath, I drove my blade, Stromka, into the beast's skull. For many ages, the sword has kept the beast from rising again. But now, it stirs once more. So I must ask you to delve into the depths of the tomb and finish what I started. I will go with you to offer what aid I can.
Thanks, Thoradin. Alright, time for a swim.
Even in death, the monster is restless. Its corruption has spread throughout the tomb. You will have to fight your way through.
It's okay, I'm an arms warrior. I got this. You know, I was hearing some people say that Arms Warrior is probably going to be pretty good in this expansion.
When I saw this antechamber, I knew we had found something momentous. Here was a door so oddly familiar, like a long-forgotten memory. We broke the first seal.
I am out of range.
You know what's one of my favorite things to do as a Fury Warrior? Just be able to spam Whirlwind all the time.
As I feared, one of the monster's minions has
I must get
returned.
closer.
Its presence is corrupting the wards of the tomb and blocking the path. You must destroy the tendrils to draw it out.
I am out of range.
Those tendrils are
I
using
must get
dark
closer.
magic to become immune to attack. Interrupt their casting so you can strike.
That's what I'm doing. It does have a little cooldown, Thoradin, so give me a break.
There it is, atop the crypt. Prepare yourself.
Aha! Gosh, I wish I had Heroic Leap. Sakash. Yeah, you can kind of see how there was a bit of foreshadowing for what they were going to be doing in BFA in this expansion with the amount of faces and such that we were getting. A lot of void teasing in this one.
These monsters play tricks upon the mind. Beware their illusions.
I need to target something first.
And there it is.
Behold, the site of my final battle. And there lies my foe. Even now, Zakaj struggles for consciousness. You must hurry!
So yeah, Stromkar has been embedded in him, draining his energy and keeping him here for a very, very long time. This explains why we are about to actually take him on solo, because normally there is no way we could be able to solo a Cathraxi. The reason we were able to face Mithrax, who was a full-strength Cathraxi, was because we were with a raid group. You know, a group of champions. Otherwise, there's no way in lore we should be able to solo one of these guys. But because he's such in a weakened state, partly because of Stromkar, this is going to be the only way that we could actually be able to do this.
No! We are too late! Zakaj has awakened! The beast seems slow, confused. The sword wounds it still. Quickly! Strike it down before it recovers completely!
I must get closer.
Beware! Zakaj grows desperate. He may change his tactics.
Oh, the lag. He changed his tactics to lag up your game.
Target.
You have done what I could not. You defeated Zakaj and lived. You know what needs to be done. Take up the Wallbreaker and end the threat of Zakaj once and for all.
Okay. The Warbreaker. Really cool looking sword. Okay. Now... So it used to grant the Warbreaker ability, which dealt massive damage in an area and made opponents vulnerable. A very similar thing to Colossus Smash. In fact, if you guys are aware, that's essentially what we get later on. Warbreaker. Became a talent. Okay, I have it now.
I am Thoradin.
Hold on a second. There we go. Execute.
At last, the nightmare is over. I can finally leave this place and be at peace. I leave my blade to you. Stromkar deserves to be wielded in battle, not locked away in a tomb. It was forged by a master swordsmith and imbued with elven magics. I know not whether being buried in that beast for centuries has affected it, but I trust that it will serve you well.
So there's one other little thing that I want to share with you guys about Stromkar. It's a fun little thing that I didn't know about until I actually took my other warrior to a farming run of the Throne of Thunder with this equipped as a transmog. Every troll in that raid cowers at you in fear when you walk in there nearby them with Stromkar. Because apparently this sword was used to kill many trolls, and it has such a reputation amongst the trolls, including the Zandalari, that they cower in fear of the sight of Stromkar. It was just kind of awesome walking into the Throne of Thunder with Stromkar, and every part of the trash, the trolls in there, all the trash in that raid, just cowered in fear of me. It was just kind of awesome. If you have an Arms War and you have this, give it a try, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So for some reason, we don't take him back with us. God forbid we actually take a warrior of lore with us to Skyhold. But no, because he's not of Vrykul. He's not part of the Valajar. Therefore, he's not worthy of Odin's, glory. So now we jump to Skyhold. Because we just zoom. Alright, Odin, I have returned. With the mighty blade, I have done your will as you commanded. I come to bring it before you to bask in your glory. Hold on, let me lick your boots once more. Blah, 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 blah.
What victories do you bring me?
Champion, if you are finished honing your weapons, I have something that I wish to show you.
A mighty blade, forged by the son of Vrykul, enchanted by elven sorcery, and quenched in the blood of a Cathraxi. It will serve you well. With it, you will put an end to our enemies.
May your battles be glorious.
Glory to Odin.
It is time to begin the war in Azeroth. So this is where we now go to the Eye of Odin to select our first zone. If you will follow me, the Eye of Odin is a powerful scrying and communication device. With it you will be able to see the Broken Isles, send orders to your champions, and enact your own special operations. Skyseer Grent will help you manage the Eye. So, of course, if you want to kind of continue with the theme of what's going on here with Odin and such, usually a warrior's good place to start questing is in Stormheim, since you will get to be interacting a lot with Javi, aka Odin, quite a bit.
Hail, champion!
Right. So, of course, we go here. And, of course, we select Stormheim.
Glory to Odin! May your battles end in victory!
So yeah, if you get a little excited about, oh, I have goods for you, come. So this is where you can get the Class Order Hall set, which I think actually does look kind of cool.
Until the
It, let me show it to you. It's this right here, the Battle Lord's plate set. It's not bad. It's not bad. Oh, over here, by the way, the Forge of Odin. This is where we go to modify our weapons.
Your sword is incredible. I wonder if there is an axe to match it.
I'm sure I could be able to find one. I do like how it just kind of opens up as a helmet into a mighty forge. So yeah, this is the baseline appearance for Stromkar. Color tints here. This is the upgrade appearance. Looks really cool. This is the balance of power look. The Flame Reaper. Gotta wait for it to turn around so I can show it to you again. almost like a tower, a flame tower. It looks like it's actually got kind of like lava flowing down it. Looks pretty cool. This is the PvP one, Wrath's Edge. It's not bad. Almost looks like the kind of weapon like a member of the Scourge would use, like a Death Knight would use. And then there is the secret appearance version. I can even be able to go ahead and show it to you here. It's this one right here. Oh, I can't do it on this one. Hold on.
May your feet find good trails. Punches, lucky doos and root.
This right here. This is the secret appearance that you can get by, encountering Varrock in Dalaran, fighting him, and it will basically, he will be like, I'll teach this smith to make it look like that and empower it. I think it's pretty cool. Plus the fact that it's given to you by Varrock, it just kind of, made me have a bit of sentimentality in, attachment towards it, because Varrock is the one who gave it to me. So, anyways.
Beware of Yeti.
So in case you're curious, oh, you're going to get some champions. Nah, not really. Like I was saying, we do go to Ulduar at some point, but we actually do get a couple of the keepers from Ulduar as followers here. We get Thorim and Hodir as actual followers. But it's mainly Vrykul and Yimmeron. And if you're Horde, you get Eitrig as like the extra follower for doing the Broken Shore stuff later on.
Tell me of your battles.
Yeah, see, he now wants me to recruit the two people that we saw earlier. You will soon command one of the greatest armies in existence. Because it's his army, so of course it's great. But before my own Valor follow your every command, you must prove your ability to lead. Speak to the two Vrykul champions who ascended into these halls with you, and tell them that it is time for you to assume your duties as Odin's chosen. It is wise to carry more than one weapon to war. Sometimes one will be better suited than another. You should choose another weapon of legend to carry with you, especially against foes so deadly. What say you?
Remember, life...
So as I mentioned, I'll be showing the Fury one on my other character, and I'll be showing the Protection one probably on this guy later when we come back. So, yeah. Bask in Odin's glory. So, to kind of help follow up on what we just saw down there in the Tomb of Tyr with the Cathraxi, because if you're curious about, oh my goodness, did we really kill him? Not really, but don't worry. That's what my Shadow Priest is going to be handling. When, after the Arms Warrior took off and jumped back to Skyhold, the Shadow Priest then showed up soon after to find something else. Because remember, the Twilight's Hammer was there trying to figure out what was going on with Thoradin. That doesn't mean they actually, stopped being there. But I'll be showing that in the next video when we head back over to my Gnome Priest, and we will be going after Xalatath. Stay tuned.